Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. The drama is set, the stage is on. Falana versus Wiki. Some few hours ago or some few days back was Wiki literally calling out senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, of which the senior advocate replied him accordingly, literally calling him a television lawyer who have never won any case. It didn't sit well at all with the FCT minister, and he has decided to address him directly. A lot of things are going on. We're going to find out in a moment. But before we do that, this is a press release from him. Before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel. Now, according to the news, the likes of Wiki's aide is talking. He said self-appointed human rights lawyer Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, San, has been challenged to list the number of major cases he won and what he has done for the development of the legal profession that qualified him to become a senior advocate of Nigeria, San, apart from being an RNG and errand lawyer. Lere Olayinka, Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister, Wiki, Senior Special Assistant on Public Communication and Social Media, who threw this challenge in a statement on Monday, said it is funny and ridiculous that in the mind of Falana, only those who have handled cases in trial court or appellant court are lawyers, and that a lawyer must have handled cases in trial or appellant court to be qualified for appointment as a live bencher. Olayinka, who said the FCT minister got his membership of the body of benchers on merit, having contributed immensely to the advancement of legal education, asked, apart from going on television to make noise, what has Falana contributed to the legal profession? Even the senior advocate of Nigeria, San, that he got, was it not on Afterthought? Was it not years after his mate had gotten senior advocate of Nigeria? He said, and I quote, as governor of Rivers State, Wiki was instrumental to the establishment and infrastructural development of the campus of the Nigerian Law School in Port Harcourt, which is the best center for legal education in Nigeria today. He also played major roles in the development of facilities at the Yenagwa campus of the Nigerian Law School by constructing a state-of-the-art 1,500 capacity hall and 200-bed male and female hostels, among other interventions. Now that he is FCT minister, he is constructing a 10-unit housing quarters for the Nigerian Law School, Buhari Abuja. He has also provided operational vehicles to the school to improve its operation. The question is, what has Falana done for the legal profession? Even in Ekiti State, where he is from, he has not contributed anything. The bar center in Ado Ekiti was built by Are Afe Babalola, senior advocate of Nigeria, San, while the one in Ikere Ekiti was built by Chief Wole Olanikpekun, senior advocate of Nigeria. Also, Are Afe Babalola has been sponsoring Nigerian Bar Association annual lecture for years and has been assisting lawyers in Ekiti and medical treatment in his Ado Ekiti teaching hospital. What has Falana done? Nothing. Did Falana not fail as a politician when he went to Ekiti to contest for governor and failed woefully? He asked. Olayinka, who counseled lawyers like Falana to stop misleading their clients, pointed out that he, Falana, lied on national television by saying that the Supreme Court judgment of Rivers State had nothing to do with who is the authentic Speaker of the House when the issue of defection of the 27 members of the House of Assembly was determined by Supreme Court. It was on the basis of the Supreme Court judgment that Justice Emmanuel Obele of the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, dismissed the suit filed by Labour Party against the alleged defection, saying that the Supreme Court ruling has finalized the issue of defection. But Falana went on television to lie and deceive his client that Supreme Court didn't rule on the defection. The same Falana said 3 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly can carry out legislative function despite the provision of Section 96, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution that the quorum of a House of Assembly shall be 1/3 of all the members of the House. If, as a senior advocate of Nigeria, you could tell your client that Section 96, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Nigeria is useless, and in the House of Assembly of 32 members, 3 can sit, questions need to be asked as to how exactly you qualified as a senior advocate of Nigeria, Olayinka said. And he said it with boldness. He said, this is Lere Olayinka, Senior Special Assistant, Public Communication and Social Media, this day. This is interesting. My Yoruba brother will say, my colleague is in the house. You heard it all. What's your take?
Well, I think that Falana should not dignify Lere Olayinka with any response. He was talking to his boss. It's only his boss that have the right to address him, because what we saw there was not, what Wiki said. It was actually a media aide. He calls himself a data man. He has grown beyond data boy to a data man now. So we can, I think that this guy should not allow it to, because if you're rational enough, and you listen to some of the position of Falana over the issue of that quorum that he's talking about, you will hear him say, in event of, okay, let's take it from here. For example, God forbid that it happened that 32 people were member of a House of Assembly. It happened. God forbid, we don't wish it should happen. Then they were embarking on a journey, possibly plane crash, and it left 32 people, maybe 27 dead. We are left with 5. There are other things that must be done, and don't forget that what's their name? INEC cannot speedily conduct. At least the next 3 months will be given before they conduct election. Doesn't mean that the state will be still, because we don't have a. I mean, these things are things that a man should just sit back and think over it. What do we now have? Is it not a quorum of 5 people for the meantime?
Well, he's saying they are not dead. So
they are not dead. Okay, what was the position? Why I'm using that word dead is because, number one, they had defected by legitimate document that is running the show of Nigeria, called Constitution. When you defect as a lawmaker, what does it say?
You lose your seat.
You lose your seat. So if you lose your seat, for example, it means that outrightly you have been sacked.
That's if there's no problem. If there are no problems in your
exactly.
party.
It means that you have been what? You have been sacked. So how many people were left now? 5 persons. 1 had resigned. The state have to keep running. But unfortunately, they refuse to accept that. And they now run to court, which I keep saying that thing was not meant for the court to decide, because there is already a provision in the Constitution. But they went to court. Somehow the court played along. We don't have anything to say about that again, because they have set a precedent which will interrupt a lot of things in future. People who legitimately left their party. We saw it in videos in different ways. They have sworn affidavit to that effect and all of that.
Back.
And they are back again.
Amazing.
They accepted them back because of one personality like that. Now, if 5 people were, because Governor Similar Fubara was looking at it from that perspective, if the provision of the Constitution say defect, you are out. So I have only 5 people to run with. With that, you can kickstart any decision and because the state must not wait. The state must not be, there is no provision of the Constitution that said that the state will have to be on a standstill till election take place. So for the meantime, I'm running with these 5 people until INEC do what they're supposed to do. So we have 5 as a quorum now. If that 5 agrees on anything, it is accepted. It's like for you to draw a conclusion concerning a particular family. A family, something had happened, only 3 people are remaining in the family, or 4 people are remaining there. You say no, that the ideal size for a family is 12 people. Does it make any sense? I mean, it's something that as a data boy or data man, he should understand these things. It's very simple. That's why I say, what's his name? Femi Falana shouldn't dignify him. And then he also talked about the other issues. One question I want to ask Lere Olayinka is, Lere, please, is Wiki using his personal monies to do all of those things? If you are celebrating the likes of, what's his name, the other man that he talked about, Aide and all of that, thumbs up to them, because they are using their personal money. Wiki is using state government money. He was using River State money to do all of those things.
But the question is, are they okay? I think Wiki is the only lawyer we know that.
You understand? He decides to pick up this thing. If you're talking about that Wiki had single-handedly, we did not touch government money. He was a businessman and he was going around building all of that. Whoa! everybody would thumbs up. He was using state government money to do it. Now he's in FCT.
Using FCT.
He's still using FCT money to do all of that. Then because he's using FCT money to do it, it is the responsibility of any government that wishes to do such to do it. So the attribution should be to the federal government or to the state government, wherever he's representing. Yes, during his time, this was done. But like Fubara will always say it, I am not the one doing it for you because I'm using the state government money to do it. Taxpayers' money is not his personal money, for God's sake. It is when he comes out of power. And in the next 3 years, he decides to go to Obiokpo and build a law school. Oga, you don't do well. Come on, let's try to reason out this thing. And whether we like it or not, we can't compare a senior advocate, because for you to disregard and say that they gave him the position of a senior advocate of Nigeria, afterthought, it clearly shows that judiciary can be manipulated to give people, senior advocate of Nigeria. So which means there is no standard. They don't respect the standard that they kept. That's exactly according to him.
All right, we could go on.